circumstances, but at this point, we're kind of at the mercy of the weather, but we're doing everything we can possible. Anyone want to mention something that I've left out, Chief? You can talk about the resources that you've gathered here, and thank you for your leadership.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. First of all, thank you, Mayor, for the support on this thing. As he's mentioned, he's authorized us to staff up in anticipation of a worst-case scenario especially for the Kingwood area. Councilmember Flickinger has also been engaged in these conversations and the briefings. The Houston Fire Department and the Police Department are co-located here at Fire Station 102. We're running the operation out here. We have our shift commander, our incident commanders out here as well. They're going to remain throughout this operation. What we saw this morning was, with the rain that we got, was mainly street level flooding. We're expecting to see the same type of situation tonight, but we're anticipating that Saturday night we are going to experience some enough flooding that we may see certain areas up here in Kingwood that are getting flooded inside the homes. 6 inches to a foot is what they're anticipating. We will have a better picture of that as soon as we get additional briefings, weather briefings, here in the next few hours. But we want to encourage Houstonians, and especially people up here in Kingwood, to monitor the weather conditions, monitor and heed the advice and the recommendations of the Office of Emergency Management, Mayor Whitmire, the counties, because we're going to be providing what we know in a timely manner to ensure that people in this area do the right thing for themselves. Again, we are going to see some street level flooding. It is going to get worse after Saturday or during Saturday. So again, I want to thank the first responders, police, fire department, OEM, mayor's office, Councilmember Flickinger's office for the support, and we're going to continue to monitor and keep a posture that's assuming a worst-case scenario to ensure that we're servicing this community appropriately. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Councilman Flickinger, this is really significant that we have a council member that is living as one of the residents of Kingwood, and so can know firsthand the anxiety that our Houstonians are experiencing here in Kingwood.
Real quick, driving in here wasn't much of a problem right now. The issue is really going to be when the water that's being currently released out of the Conroe Dam gets here. And we're looking probably about 24 hours from now. They're currently releasing about 71,000 cubic feet per second. That's the highest release they've had other than Harvey. So that's the type of issue we're looking at. In 24 hours from now, we're going to start getting that. The people that live in the low-lying areas around the river really need to be prepared to see about getting out of their house quickly. So please plan for it now. Don't wait until the last minute to try and make a change.
Representative? Another Kingwood resident.
Thank you, Mayor Whitmire. And Councilman Flickinger, Chief Pena. Just want to say that everything has already been said, but the other concern that I have in my district, 127, which goes a pretty good ways, is the Huffman area also. And so to the residents there, well, all we said is be vigilant, be ready. We're going to get through this, and I appreciate all the efforts that Mayor Whitmire has done, and of course Councilman Flickinger. And with that, I'll give it back to you.
Sure. I know we have an attorney there. Just any data. Bob, you're kind of the flood guru. I'd be glad for him to hear from a resident that lives and breathes it, monitors it with your blog. And Kingwood is a special community in that it's tight and it looks out for each other. We've experienced the flooding before. After this storm, we need to have a task force again to see what can be done with sandbars in the river, drainage from a regional standpoint, working with Montgomery County, flood control district. We've got to remind our partners that we all have responsibilities here. Bob, you have anything you can add? You certainly can put a face on how you network with the community.
My name is Bob Rehak. I run a flood blog called ReduceFlooding.com, which posts something almost every day about flooding and flood mitigation, and has since Hurricane Harvey. I think the thing that I'd like to mention at this time is the incredible commitment of Mayor Whitmire and our representatives, Mr. Flickinger, we just have an incredible community, and we're trying to preserve it. I think after Hurricane Harvey, the thing that everybody commented on was that if we ever had another one, there wouldn't be a community to come back to, because people would just up and walk away. So I'm really looking forward to working with this team, especially Charles and him, and seeing what we can do during this flood to make sure it wasn't as bad, or it won't be as bad as Hurricane Harvey was. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Emphasize the community cohesiveness, how people come together. I routinely talk about how great our city is and how great our people are, and we're witnessing it today. I think we need to do a incident review when this is over to see once and for all state, federal, and local resources can come together, because I do know the anxiety that the residents are feeling right now, and I want them to be Houston proud and realize we're doing everything possible. So the press has a responsibility to take it across the region and let everyone know that we care and we'll be here around the clock. With that said, is anything that I've left untouched?
Can we have the same information in Spanish if possible?
Very, very good idea.
Please.
We would like to thank you.
Sure, I can do that for you.
That's a great idea.
Yes. Can I, before I do that, I want to stress one point. And this morning we had, as I mentioned, it was street level flooding. We're going to expect that again tonight, and even on Saturday. Part of it is going to be the street level flooding. The majority of our rescue calls, matter of fact, all of them today, were stranded motorists driving into high water. And we asked the press to also help us spread the word about the dangers of driving into these flooded roadways, because that creates a hazard and a danger for the motorists, but it also creates a hazard for the first responders that are going to expose themselves out there to try to evacuate and effect a rescue. So it's dangerous to drive into any flooded road. Stay out of flooded roads. That has been the call type that we've gotten this morning. 9 water evacuation calls this morning. They were all from the surface roads for stranded motorists. En español, aquí estamos con el alcalde Whitmire, estamos con el concejal también Flickinger, el representante del estado Cunningham, para decir que esperamos que las lluvias continúen esta noche. Lo que vamos a tener son inundaciones en las carreteras, es lo que tuvimos esta mañana. La mayoría de las llamadas al 911 fueron rescates de personas que estaban en sus vehículos en condiciones que las carreteras estaban inundadas. Es un peligro manejar en las carreteras inundadas. Queremos que el público tenga precaución en esas cosas. Esperamos más lluvia esta noche. Esperamos que las mismas condiciones que vimos esta mañana con las carreteras inundadas. Pero el sábado esperamos que haya inundación, que haya más lluvia y más inundación que pueda hacer que llegue a las casas también. Lo que nosotros vamos a hacer es, después de platicar con las personas que están dando el forecast de las lluvias, vamos a poner información de evacuación. No va a ser mandatoria, pero sí queremos que el público tenga la información para que haga lo responsable. El departamento de bomberos, el departamento de policía va a estar colocado aquí en la estación 102. De aquí vamos a llevar el comando para poder responder a las llamadas del 911 que lleguen esta noche y a partir del sábado también.
Entonces no van a ser obligatorias las evacuaciones.
Las evacuaciones no van a ser obligatorias a este momento. Si algo cambia, el alcalde Whitmire y la juez del condado van a comunicar eso, pero a este momento no son mandatorias. ¿Algo más? All right.
Mayor Whitmire, you've gotten a lot of press lately about talking with Judge Hidalgo. Is this the first conversation you've had with her?
That's about the silliest issue you could bring up.
That's
We
what a lot of people are asking
we
about.
got serious issues. Our staffs have been in constant contact preparation. I know the county judge. I did not need a meet and greet with her. This is work time. And we've been in contact with each other in the last 30 minutes. We're working together as a team. We represent the same people. But to try to create an issue about parties talking to one another, I go to work every morning around 7:30, stay late, about 18-hour days, because I'm not playing games. The campaign season is over. We need to be talking about protecting the residents of Houston, Harris County, and it must have been a real slow day for somebody to make that an issue in the press.
And for you or either Chief Pena, like to mention even the words Hurricane Harvey, for some of us, it's like shell shock. You're not suggesting this will be anything
We're
near.
telling you, we're doing the very best we can to prepare for whatever nature brings our way. We're a region. What happens in Polk County, Montgomery County affects Harris County. So we're here to talk serious business, to advise residents that they need to be on alert. They need to listen to their elected officials. The county judge can declare an emergency. She's doing so. She's asking for mandatory evacuation. We're working together as a team the way it should be and has always been. And it's a shame we waste our time talking pettiness,
Mr. Mayor,
which these conditions are not petty. It's the politics that someone wants to bring into relationship. I work across the aisle with every level of government. I get things done. I don't have time to play games and pettiness. Yes, sir.
quick question for both of y'all. Sources inside HFD tell us that part of the Swiftwater Task Force, those team members that man this equipment that we see out here saving lives, that they were sent home early in the morning. These are sources inside the fire department telling KPRC this. Can you confirm that? And if so, why was that decision made whenever the forecast model showed that we were going to receive this devastating rain?
I would yield with the fire chief, but he told me even in the last hour he's keeping people around the clock because it's easy to keep them engaged than to have to re-engage later if necessary. But I would yield to him, but that's news to most of us that folks are not being utilized at this point.
Absolutely. So, look, the short answer to that is we have all our units staffed up right now. We have additional high water resources that are staffed up. They're going to remain staffed up. How we staff them, we'll have to rotate those individuals. It's a lot easier to keep them on duty, but after so many hours, it makes sense for us to rotate those individuals. But everything has been staffed. I just confirmed that with the shift commander, and so yes, they were staffed up yesterday early before we even had any of this weather issue that we were dealing with this morning. We kept them on. We staffed them. We got a new crew here, right, that are going to be staffed. So the units are going to remain staffed. The people may change, but the units are going to remain staffed.
This morning, sources tell us that there were calls for service where those equipment, those apparatus were to go out and conduct these rescues, but at times there wasn't staff to staff those apparatus.
You may want to
Did that
check
happen?
may want to check your sources.
Did that happen at all, or was the
Chief, was
every call fulfilled?
I don't think we missed a response to any call.
Yo tengo otra pregunta en español. El alcalde mencionó de que en algunas áreas el nivel del acumulamiento de agua podría llegar hasta niveles tan altos como vistos en el huracán Harvey. ¿Nos podría explicar un poco eso?
Mire, no esperamos que lleguen a esos niveles. Esta no es una situación como Harvey, pero nosotros vamos a estar preparados para cualquier situación. Lo que esperamos es que los niveles lleguen de 6 pulgadas a 1 pie. Puede ser tal vez un poco más, pero por eso queremos que el público acuda a las fuentes de noticias para las informaciones que nosotros damos al público que las tomen en cuenta, porque sí, la situación puede cambiar.
Y no manejar en zonas inundadas, ese es un mensaje claro. Que
Absolutamente, sí. Mire, la mayoría de las llamadas que tuvimos esta mañana fue para rescates de vehículos que estaban en las carreteras que estaban inundadas. Fueron 9 las llamadas que tuvimos, eso fue a lo que respondimos.
Question for Councilmember Flickinger, maybe Bob Rehack as well. Given the outflow we got coming our way, can you approximate how many residences you think could be in danger?
All the low-lying residences are kind of on the cusp. Mark, you want to chime in on this too? We're getting to that point to where it's very close. What we don't know is how much rain we're going to get in the next 24 hours. We know when the peak of the outflow from the dam is going to occur, that when, how much rain we get, how much are contributed to by the other tributaries that come into San Jacinto River, that we don't know. So like I said, it's right at the cusp, and it's very serious. Certainly not standing here and saying, oh, we know this many homes are going to flood. We're hoping that none of them do, but my guess is we'll probably have a few that actually do. It's right on the cusp.
Let me follow up. Are we talking about dozens of homes or potentially hundreds of homes?
I think closer to dozens. But again, there's a lot of things we don't know, Greg. We don't know how much rain we're going to get. Lake Conroe, they have increased the release to 71,000 cubic feet, and it was still increasing, but very slowly. They have promised us that as soon as it stops increasing the water level in Lake Conroe, that they will start throttling back the release. So, a lot of it's up to what happens in the weather in the next 24 hours.
Okay, thank you. We got to go to work.